Dr. Aleesha Taylor, wonderful to have you here.
Thank you.
You are an advisor to philanthropic organizations.
Yes.
Tell me more about the work that you do.
An advisor to philanthropic organizations and also organizations that are seeking to leverage and access philanthropic capital. And so we work with strategic plans for philanthropies and also organizations that thrive really and operate with philanthropic capital, and also to multilateral and bilateral organizations to help them work out their partnerships to utilize philanthropic capital and organizations to advance national and global goals.
So philanthropy in the context of Africa has
Yes.
sometimes got a little bit of a bad rap.
Yes.
Not always, but sometimes it's seen as aid. And people are saying that, they don't need aid, they need trade, or they need investment in actual business opportunities. What are you doing to move the needle in that space?
Working with governments and philanthropies and also nonprofit organizations and business organizations, essentially all of the stakeholders that would be around the table in multi-stakeholder partnerships or public-private partnerships to facilitate the partnerships to help them to move forward so that philanthropy is then positioned as a means or an opportunity to help leverage other capital or to de-risk private capital.
So from the lens that you have looking at Africa as, potential philanthropic investments,
Yes.
What are the biggest obstacles and the biggest opportunities that you see right now?
Well, I think one of the biggest obstacles is that philanthropy still is seen as aid, I think, and also that enables or encourages a lack of interrogation or recognition of the power dynamics that includes or that entails. So it's very much of seen as a charitable engagement as opposed to a means to leverage financing, to increase investments, or to increase or to enable implementation of national goals and plans.
And biggest opportunities?
The biggest opportunities is for philanthropic capital or philanthropic resources, actually. And I think that's actually the shift or the opportunity, because often when we think of philanthropy, we think of the funds. But philanthropic organizations have a range of resources, and even private organizations and the business organizations with their corporate social responsibility. It's not just about leveraging the dollars, but leveraging expertise, leveraging systems, leveraging approaches to enable large-scale projects, national and regional, even continent-wide projects across sectors. I'm invested in the education sector, but obviously philanthropy and particularly corporate social responsibility resources are across sectors.
So as someone who's based in the US, how important is a conference like this, the second Global Africa Business Initiative, how important is this as a conference really for you to bring together people that could be interesting for you?
It's truly important. It's really important, I think, to understand the what's happening on the continent now, what the opportunities are. I think one of the things that I appreciate about this conference and this year's conference is the mixing of both conversations about business and investment, but then also branding and storytelling, and understanding the importance of that connection, right? Because I think one of the things that we need in order to enable more beneficial partnerships is just to understand each other. And so we need to understand each other's stories and understand each other's perspectives. And the session that I just came out of was talking about the importance of, moving beyond the single story, right? There's no the narrative on Africa, or what is the story on Africa, and understanding and appreciating that there are many stories. And so I think that's also important when thinking about partnerships.
And so Gabi launched last year, the
Yes.
inaugural conference, and obviously they had huge success, which is why they're back this year.
Yes.
What would you like to see happen by next year and for next year's conference?
That's very interesting. Well, I would like to see some conversation about education as an education specialist and about the role of strengthening education systems. I think also more conversations or illustrations of effective public-private partnerships, because that's something that we hear a lot about, but people don't actually understand or see the complexities of or understand the complexities of. And so particularly when speaking about philanthropy, to have perhaps also representatives of philanthropic organizations, both traditional philanthropies, like let's say a Ford Foundation, and then perhaps a corporate social responsibility arm of a corporation. Like I saw someone here from the Pepsi Foundation. I'm from PepsiCo and the head of the PepsiCo Foundation. So illustrating examples of how different types of philanthropic organizations can come together with governments and also different types of private sector organizations to advance a national agenda in any sector.
So just finally, close us out very quickly. What makes Africa unstoppable?
What makes Africa unstoppable is the potential, obviously. It's a young continent, and I think we've seen how they've been able to innovate and leapfrog, even though I hate that the buzzwords, but leapfrog over obstacles that people that even we have seen. When I think about even going cashless in a cashless society. When I go to Kenya, that's the only place that I've not been using cash in Kenya probably for the past 7, 8, 9, 10 years in a way that you're just now seeing happen here in New York. And so I think shifting that narrative and understanding that Africa is about innovation. When you want to see innovation, you need to look at the African continent and look at what's happening amongst young people.
Absolutely. Africa is all about innovation.
Africa is all about innovation indeed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.